Hello everyone, this is Hillary with Dominion Tea, and today we're going to talk water quality and your cup of tea. So we care about water quality. Water quality matters because water is actually your largest ingredient in tea. So what is meant when somebody says to you water quality? It's actually made up of three components. It's the pH of the water, the total dissolved solids in the water. So we're talking about minerals and nutrients that are in there. Think copper, zinc, phosphorus, magnesium, calcium, and then hardness, which is calcium carbonate, and a specific measurement around that. All three of those are going to affect your capability to taste the flavors in your tea, and it will also affect mouthfeel. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So what is the best water quality for tea? I'm going to tell you personal preference is going to drive this, but there's some general ranges you can operate in. The first one is we go all the way back to Lu Yu, so our grandfather of tea in China, and he waxes on poetically about high mountain spring water. Well, what's so great about high mountain spring water? Well, when you bring in the scientists, they're going to tell you low pH, so you're going to be down towards 6 in this, low dissolved solids, and low hardness. How does it have low dissolved solids and low hardness? It hasn't been flowing over rocks and dirt and plants for very long because you're up in the higher elevations. So you're going to have softer water. In the United States, what we're watching for a lot due to the bedrock in our own nation is water hardness, so calcium carbonate. We have a lot of calcium carbonate in our water in this country. U.S. Geological Survey does a screening of it across the country, and you will find, especially on homes with wells, a larger concentration of it. So the good news is that we have testing kits easily available. So what does that bring us to in playing with water? You go to bottled water? Not necessarily, but if you're the type who is, watch your labels. You don't want high pH or alkaline water. Quite frankly, what's going to happen is you're going to brew your tea, and the catechins, right? So these are a small group of the polyphenols I talk a lot about, are going to start to bind. And you will see at the top of your cup kind of a slime. This is especially true if you have a black tea. And if you start to see that, will tell you you're probably dealing in high pH, but you're also dealing in high hardness. So lots of calcium carbonate in that. You're going to want to look at your bottled water labels for spring water or distilled water. It still has nitrogen, magnesium, and calcium. And absolutely no reverse osmosis water. So sometimes you'll find out on the market water to clean your coffee pot with. That is usually reverse osmosis. They pulled everything out. Water with no nutrients in it or dissolved solids is going to brew flat tea. Give you an idea, reverse osmosis water was first tested coming out of wastewater to rewater parks and public spaces. And the park agents and public agents noticed very quickly everything was dying when it was watered with reverse osmosis water. So you really don't want your tea in that stuff either. So where does that leave you? The first thing I always say is test your home water, especially if you're here in the United States. Testing kits are really easy to get at your hardware stores, and they will give you an idea of pH, dissolved solids, and your calcium carbonate. So you can look at it from there, you can adjust. So there's a lot of options for water filters in this country if you don't already have one in your home, that you can attach both to faucets. So it's not even an all in-home, even though those are an option as well. And if those aren't really your thing, there's plenty of spring water, bottled water in the United States from all the various regions where you may live. So really go out and play. And what I'd always like to recommend is before you decide you don't like that tea, try playing with your water. You might be surprised on how it helps.